It's amazing, isn't it, really, what you can do when you got a little tape?
Swamp Donkey Radio, Swamp Donkey Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, kings and queens, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, from this point onward, I will be referring to you as listeners. My name is Jan-Hen.
And this is Nadi.
And welcome to the second episode of Swamp Donkey Radio.
Welcome back.
So, if you're a first-time listener, this is a South African podcast about media. Anything you can intake and anything you can become a fan of and share your fandom with other people.
Hopefully we go into hobbies as well.
Yes, anything you can become a fan of. It can be hobbies, it can be media. It's mostly going to be media, but we'll delve into other stuff. So if you've started from the first podcast and went into the second one, there's a slight change. We're only going to be covering one subject per podcast.
Because two takes way too hella long.
And one of the subjects we had was babysitting mama, and unfortunately, I can't find my freaking nunchuck for my Wii.
Also, when we did try and record this podcast on Sunday, on the weekend, like we usually do, the power went out. So this is a few days later now.
So yeah, we're going to try this format. If we feel more comfortable with this format, we're going to stick with it. But we're still going to cover something from the mystery hat, if you can hear it. That was it. So yeah, forewarning. We're going to swear in this. I'm just going to let it out. I'm just going to lay it down and say we're going to swear. We're going to try and keep it minimal, but...
A few fucks here, a few fucks there.
How has your week been?
It's been good. I mean, what is it, Wednesday now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a chill week so far. Been playing a little bit of Zelda. Which one was it?
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. First time playing it.
Yeah,
so far.
I lent you my one 3DS, and then you beat Pokemon Moon, and I gave you 2 games to try out.
Yeah.
First one was Animal Crossing.
That was not good.
So it's not to your taste.
Not my kind of game, no. I did not like it.
So yeah, and then you suggested, you asked for a game that kind of has an end game to it.
Well, I asked for Zelda specifically just because I've heard so much about it and I really wanted to try it. I mean, seems like my kind of game, adventure, that kind of thing, fantasy.
Yeah, no, Zelda is great. Ocarina of Time is like known as one of the most legendary ones. Like it's the highest rated one. And I'm not sure if it's nostalgia or whatever the hell else people have for it. Personally, it's definitely not one of my favorites, but it's also not one of the first ones I played. I played the one for Game Boy. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a solid game.
I'm enjoying it.
I feel it hasn't aged well, but I think it's just because I have experience with like other adventure games.
I'm sure. I mean, I've seen stuff with better graphics, but I'm not even looking at that. I'm looking at the storyline, thinking Link's a little shit because, his face is just terrible. His friend gives him a gift and he's just like, pulling a face. I'm just like, what's wrong with you, kid?
Yeah, and then afterwards, if you enjoyed Ocarina of Time, I'm going to give you Majora's Mask.
Okay, cool.
That's like, usually when it comes to people doing, like, I know Peanut Butter Gamer, YouTube game reviewer, every year he does something called Zelda Month, where all his videos are Zelda centric.
Oh wow.
And at one stage he did like a top 10 of like his favorite Zelda games. It has changed over the years, I've heard, but like it's usually like with him it's Majora's Mask is his favorite Zelda game. But other people are like, yeah, no, Ocarina of Time is the best one. So it's usually between those two, but it's also usually from people within our age range.
Oh, okay, okay.
But usually if it's like the first Zelda game that people play, that's usually their favorite. Not always.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your first experience of it, and like, you have all these like feelings, excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. My favorite, for example, is one that's kind of controversial. My favorite one's Skyward Sword.
Was it controversial?
Controversial because it's the Wii's exclusive one.
Oh, right.
And you have to use motion controls for it. And lots of people are turned off by it. That in the game is very, very linear.
Okay, well, we'll have to try that at some stage. I haven't played any Wii U games?
Wii or Wii U games.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Most Nintendo games you haven't played.
Yeah, well, I haven't played almost any game, so... But the whole idea of having to move a bit and interact more with the game, I don't know, that kind of excites me. Like, I would want to try that and feel like I'm actually swinging a sword, trying to kill something.
Yeah, and story-wise, in my opinion, it's one of the most solid ones. Like, it's a beautiful story. It's the first Zelda game I actually got, like, a little teary-eyed for, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm a pushover when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay, so the other thing I did this week is I've started doing yoga, some very basic yoga, just for some health benefits. My back is killing me. I'm like an old lady. But other than that, my week has been regular. How was yours?
Any other series you've watched? Or like TV shows or movies or whatever?
Oh, I finished Yuri Online.
Yuri on Ice?
That
Yuri
one.
Online.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about Sword Art Online.
I was just gonna say, like, there's lots of Yuri stuff online, but it's not the Yuri stuff you think of.
No, nothing about that. No, oh my gosh, Yuri on Ice. Yeah, but that is in the hat, so eventually at some point we'll be pulling that.
Yeah, definitely. I actually want to watch it, but this gives me a chance to like go like, no, I'm gonna watch it. Series I watched, I finally watched Black Butler.
Yes, finally.
Kurosuchiji.
Kurosuchiji. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that one, Black Butler.
Not Japanese. Not gonna be able.
Shitsuji. Kuroshitsuji.
Oh gosh.
It's just a tongue twister. I know exactly. Like I can see. Anyway, yeah, I watched. I watched the 3 seasons of it, and then I watched the 2 long OVAs, so which is kind of like the 4th season. It's pretty good. Like, it's very like, it's aimed at people who kind of like boy love kind of things. Lots of sexy men in it. Lots and lots of sexy men. Not a lot of sexy women in it, but like, it's fine. I mean, it's still a pretty good story besides season 2. Season 2 was pretty shitty to me.
I think I like it because even though there aren't that many female characters or that are supposed to be pretty or whatever, the female characters that there are pretty badass.
Yeah, most of them are pretty strong characters.
So I mean, they have a healthy ratio.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is like that show's made for people who like that.
Oh, absolutely.
The sexy boys.
Well, I guess, yeah.
It's like Death Note, like lots of sexy boys in there. Well, not lots of, but like there are sexy boys in there.
It's
definitely.
true, but I mean, like I love Death Note. It's one of my favorite animes, and that wasn't because of the hot boys.
Yeah, no, but it's at least something nice to look at.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But
there's like one character. There's like one female character in that show, and it's like I think her name is Misa.
Misa, the most annoying female in the world ever.
Yeah, and like lots of goth girls are like, she's my idol.
Well, I mean, I like her style.
Yeah. What was the other show I watched? Arakawa Under the Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
I need to put that in the list as well.
No, do we have to? It doesn't have an end story. Like, I don't like animes that don't have an end. I need to know how it's resolved.
No, we're putting it in the hat.
Oh, gosh.
You put fucking Babysitting Mama in there.
I meant that as a joke. I really didn't think I was going to pull it right the same day I put it in. Oh, that was a bad mistake. But the whole point is we want to try stuff that we wouldn't usually do, like take us a little bit out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
Because I mean,
like watching Arakawa Under the Bridge, a show that doesn't have an end.
Okay, fine. Okay, you have a point. Damn it. Anyway, are we done now? Can we take a break?
I'm just trying to think of like if there's anything else I've watched that like or done like I played a lot of Pokemon. Started breeding some competitive Pokemon.
Right. The bank is coming
Pokemon
out.
Bank is out now.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this in 2017, there might still be a chance that you can get it. If you register on Pokemon Bank now, it's a subscription that you have to pay once a year. It's about now I can't remember what the exact price is. It's not a big amount. Like if you can afford
a game.
Geez, if you can afford a cheap game on Steam, you can afford a subscription to Pokemon Bank for
Okay.
1 year.
Okay.
Because there's a benefit to registering. You get Mewium Z, which is Mew's Z Crystal, which
Oh.
only Mew can use.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you can get Mew in Sun and Moon, then Mew can use its Z Crystal.
Awesome. Good to know.
Yeah, I have a few gripes with Pokemon Bank and Sun and Moon, but I mean, it's not. It's still like if you've been playing for years and Sun and Moon isn't your first game, you can send all those Pokemon like through directly. Can't transfer items, just so you know, and it's pretty good. And it's worth the fee, in my opinion, because if you want to transfer those Pokemon over, you can't trade between the previous generation and Sun and Moon. So it's the only way to transfer them over anyway. Plus you get benefits from it. But yeah, and I've been breeding some Pokemon competitively, and I've been playing some Pokemon Showdown, which is like an online version of Pokemon battling that you can like test Pokemon out before making the commitment to breed or train or whatever, so that you can build stuff before committing to it in the game.
Awesome.
Like wasting time in the game.
Yeah. So this is for the people that aren't like me, that you play the game and then you're done. This is for the serious people that like
Yeah.
they want a proper battle with their Pokemon.
Yeah, or at least beat the battle tree. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, the battle tree.
Because it's super hard.
Yeah. I think
Well,
I got in
to me, at least.
I got in for like 3 levels and I was like, "Nah, I'm done. let me go catch some other Pokemon. I'm good."
But yeah, that's about it. I bought a few games this past week, but nothing to write home about. Me and you went out shopping the other day. I bought some stuff from a store that was closing down.
Horrible experience. Found the store was closing down. It was Top CD in Menlyn.
Yeah.
And we're just wandering around, looking at what they have. Find this awesome
Oh, okay.
Overwatch.
Yeah. So what they said was everything in the store, including storefront stuff. So like racks for putting CDs up and for putting games up, whatever. Those things are for sale as well. Everything is marked down 35%. So you can sit there you can have your phone open with a calculator and go like, okay, this price says it's this. Let's, just work out. Okay, cool. It's actually this price with 35% marked down.
Yeah.
So then Nadi goes around the back to where the book section was, and she just sees this pile and piles and boxes full of Skylanders.
Hidden. Yeah. There was the Skylanders.
Lots and lots of Skylanders, and
Some
Marius.
of them were a little water damaged, so I was like, okay, cool, you can get even a better price on this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
So, and Marius is a huge fan of Skylanders, and we thought, okay, cool, well, we'll check what they have. And I actually called Marius that day and said, like, no, we're gonna go,
yeah, we got these. Which ones do you want?
Which ones do you want? I'll buy them and you can just pay me back later.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. He said, no, I don't have this one. I've been searching for this one for quite a while. And we were so excited. And then while I was talking to him on the phone, Nadi brings up this box. And this box, it literally made my jaw drop. Because it was the Overwatch Special Collector's Edition. The one with the Soldier 76 statue, the soundtrack, everything, the whole shebang. I missed out on that box so many times, like sales, because that box is hella expensive, right? So, yeah, she pulled out that box and it was for PS4 because I have the PC version of Overwatch and I thought if I can get the PS4 version of it, I can play it with my buddies who have the PS4 version, and then I don't have to buy the game. I technically don't have to buy the game twice for the same system. Super hella excited.
Super
and,
magical moments.
Yeah,
Just
I was
perfect on every level.
I was so psyched for it. And then one of the store clerks comes up and says, listen, you guys shouldn't be here because these things aren't for sale. They're going back to the supplier.
Yeah, but the section wasn't cordoned off or anything. It was just like nothing stopped us from wandering in. It's like, then tell us we're not allowed in here or something, because we just like strolled in.
Put up a sign that says like not for sale or whatever, because they were all in like piles and boxes and stuff. So freaking frustrated. And then like the lady was kind enough to say, no, we can manage to sell you this one, but not at the discount. And at that time I was just like, no, I still can't afford it. If I could get the discount, I had that amount of money on me. Like, without the discount, it's still like, whoa, I can't pay that now.
Yeah.
I have to feed myself.
Sad moment, but we'll figure something out at some point.
It's okay. I've missed some special edition games in the past. It's like I'll just get over it. I'm sad about it now, but I'll get over it.
Find some other thing to get excited about. Anyway.
Yes, like other special editions I can't afford. Guys, just Google Nier Automata Black Box Edition. Okay. And then just weep with me. Okay.
Just cry a little bit.
Just like while we're going on the break. Just Google that and then I'll weep with you. Okay.
One tear dramatically rolls down your cheek.
Per eye.
Nope. Not per eye, just the one eye as you stare off into the distance.
It's the 1 gallon of tears.
Oh gosh. Okay.
See you guys in a bit. Dear listeners, welcome back to Swamp Donkey Radio. I'm still Jan-Hen.
And this is still Nadi.
And now we're going to do the subject of the week.
Yeah, so it wasn't last week, but last time we pulled Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, the 2016
The 2016 one, yes.
We're going to start off with going old versus new, just the history of it. So Ghostbusters, the original 80s ones, they're considered classics. Like classics, even the second one, which doesn't get as much like positive feedback as the first one. They're still both considered classics. I mean, I have both of them on DVD. Both great movies. Like they're like ingrained into my childhood. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's actually kind of like moving on to when the new one was announced. Everyone already went like, fuck this movie.
Which is weird because, I mean, when they said there was a new Jurassic Park, everyone freaked out.
Yeah.
You'd think that everyone would have the same reaction where it's like, oh, it's a new version of an old movie, awesome, childhood.
Not necessarily, because I think the main difference was that Jurassic World was a continuation of Jurassic Park. It's not a remake.
That's true.
It's not a reboot.
Yeah.
This one was a reboot. And not only was it a reboot, it doesn't have any of the original characters in it. It's like a reboot of, like, it's not even in the same universe.
That's true.
And that was like established later on when they said, no, it's going to be like completely new. So just to give you guys a rundown of the movie, it's directed by Paul Feig. If you don't know the movies, he's directed movies like Bridesmaids.
Right, yeah, Bridesmaids.
Yeah, and well, you can consider Bad Teacher as one of the movies, but like, let's be honest. and he also directed Knocked Up, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story. Hilarious movie, by the way.
Okay. Is that going in the hat?
It could. It
Okay.
could.
Okay.
Yeah, and he also directed the Peanuts movie, which I want to see.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
Have you seen it?
I've seen the trailer.
It looks good. It looks like the same animation style as like the original stuff, just like newer.
It's true.
Anyway, we're not talking about
anyway,
Peanuts
not that one.
So yeah, when this movie was announced, everyone was like, fuck this. And everyone thought the reason why, and I mean, there might be some people who have that reason is, no, it's going to be all girls. Fuck this. This is stupid. And I mean, I didn't really care about it. I was like, that's weird. Is it just going to be the same? Because at that time, they didn't like establish if it was going to be a new
So
a
if
reboot.
it would just be like a gender bend version or...
Yeah, it would have either gone a gender bend version of it, or it would have gone, like it did, a complete reboot of the series.
Yeah.
Or what I initially thought was it was going to be a new team of Ghostbusters, but they were continuing the legacy of the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Yeah. Because I feel that's also a thing that like kind of like hit people in the childhood. And I hate that phrase. Just FYI.
Okay.
But like it like hit people like where it shouldn't have. It felt like it was disregarding the original franchise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like it wasn't respecting it at all.
Yeah. No, but I mean, okay, so what happened in the end was completely not that. I mean, they had all the old actors. They made cameo roles.
Yeah, all the actors that were still alive.
Yeah, so they brought that in, and I would say that that's their way of showing that they do still respect the old movies.
No, I don't feel like they disrespected the original one personally. I don't feel like they were like fuck the old franchise.
Yeah.
They just wanted to start off with a new story. To
Yeah.
it.
So
But
I mean,
in my opinion, it's not the best move, but I don't feel offended by it.
I mean, it just if you feel weird about it and you don't know how to think about it, just go into it thinking it's an alternate universe and
Yeah.
this is what would have happened in that universe.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the 2 Quicksilver kind of debacle kind of
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been presented with this little conundrum before. Our little heads can take it, so I mean, just look at it that way.
thing. Yeah. So let's go with the characters. Let's go like one for one with the main characters.
Okay.
So Melissa McCarthy plays Dr. Abigail, or Dr. Yates. She's a physicist, and she's one of the original people in the group that like wanted to start.
Yeah, her little story was, okay, without giving too much away, like going after ghosts and the paranormal had always been a part of her life, like something that she was interested in, and so she always had this drive of like, this is something she wants to work with, deal with, know more about.
Yeah, and she did that like as a kid. She did that with Kristen Wiig's character, Aaron Gilbert.
Yeah.
She also became a physicist, and they kind of like split ways when they got older.
Yeah, I mean, it's that usual story of like one grows up and becomes the responsible adult and the other one's just like, you know what, I have my dreams, I'm gonna follow them. I don't want to be too serious about life, and obviously for one of them that works out, for the other one not so much.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, okay, I'll say it like after the next few characters. So Kate McKinnon plays Holtz, Gillian Holtzman. I'd say she's kind of like the Egon of the group, kind of. She's the inventive one. She's more like the handyman scientist. She's an engineer.
Yeah,
so,
she's the one that comes up with all the crazy inventions, the one that's always building stuff.
She makes the weapons.
Yeah,
basically.
she makes the toys,
And she's very eccentric, and she's most of the time, all of them are comic relief, but she's the most comic relief out of the 4 of them.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of describe her.
Okay.
And then Leslie Jones plays Patty Tolan. She's the only one of the group that's not a scientist. She used to be like a person, one of the, not the receptionist, but like the ticket lady.
Yeah, at
Or
a
like-
subway.
Like an MTA
Station.
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to work in the city.
Yeah.
That's like the way she kind of described it.
She is basically a walking encyclopedia.
Yeah, of New York.
Yeah.
And she kind of brings the street kind of effect, the street smarts. That's what she described it as.
Absolutely, yeah. I loved her character, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, she was my favorite just because, like, she just felt like such a real... I think I just, like, saw myself in her the most because, like, she walks into a room of mannequins and she's like, nope, fuck this shit,
Yeah.
I'm out.
That was pretty funny.
And when she did that, I was just like, yep, that's me.
So yeah, those are the 4 main characters. And like I said before, all 4 of them are comic relief because they're comedic actors. All 4 of them came from Saturday Night Live, just like the original Ghostbusters cast came from the Saturday Night Live kind of background.
See, and that also, it just proves to me, like, okay, it just proves to me that they do have respect for the old movies. They're trying to keep it tied in together, like little, full circle kind of thing.
There are analogs too.
Yeah.
So yeah, their relationships were kind of like, in my opinion, like the 2 strongest characters in this movie were, in my opinion, Kristen Wiig's character and Leslie Jones's characters. I felt like they were kind of echoing what the original Ghostbusters were, but they were also like twisting it about, like changing it a lot. So like Kristen Wiig is kind of like Bill Murray's character. Semi kind of like it's hard to explain, but like there are analogs to them.
They're parallels.
Yeah, they're kind of counterparts to each other,
Yeah.
but not really. But yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I cannot remember the old movies. I mean, I remember the like big marshmallow
The Stay Puft Marshmallow.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like, I remember enjoying them. I watched them as a kid, but it was so long ago. Like, I can't compare them because I literally cannot remember.
Yeah.
Again, that was a good thing for me because I could just enjoy the movie for what it was.
Yeah, but I mean, same for me. Like, I'm the type of person who's seen Ghostbusters, like, 1 and 2 at least 30 times each, you know, throughout my life. I go like, man, you know what movie I haven't watched in like a year or two? Ghostbusters. I'll watch that, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Ghostbusters, the original ones. But I still kind of enjoyed this movie, you know. But
I like how you slide kinda into there.
I'll get back to that with the review, but I don't want to delve too much into it because we're still busy with the characters. So their assistant, their secretary.
Oh gosh.
Chris Hemsworth plays Kevin. And he's basically the dumb blonde in this movie.
Yeah, and I really don't like overly dumb characters. So it like pained me every time he did something dumb. Like, I'm one of those people that do not find that funny. Like, you repeatedly hitting your hand on a glass casing because there's a phone inside. It's not funny to me.
If you enjoy random, idiotic, I'd say idiotic, but like that kind of be like kind of an asshole thing to do. But like, if you enjoy movies like Anchorman, or like, yeah, I'd say Anchorman is kind of like that kind of deal. If you enjoy laughing at idiot characters, but like, I felt he was well written as an idiot.
Okay, I think I told you this earlier, but I didn't like him in the first half. Didn't. It was just too dumb for me. It wasn't funny. But obviously when he was the bad guy, because me as a girl, I have a weakness for the bad boys. I was like, oh yeah, I like that. But I mean, at the end, after the scene, like when they keep throwing the...
Yeah. I know what scene you're talking about.
They kept throwing stuff at him and I was just like, see, this is funny to me. Like, this is a part of his character that I find hilarious. Not the concentrating on his dumbness.
So, yeah, the last character I just want to like quickly go over. It's because he's the main villain of the movie.
Yeah.
Neil Casey is Rowan, and he's kind of like a weirdo dude, like a really weirdo dude. He wants to bring forth the apocalypse, and he's a very socially awkward dude, and that's kind of why he does it, because he's kind of crazy in the head.
He's a teenager. He's an emotional teenager, because I'm pretty sure every teenager at some point in their life has thought about how they would take over the world. I know I did.
I felt he was, in my opinion, of all the characters, he was the weakest character in the movie.
Well, I mean...
he was annoying. He felt to me like, you know, in movies where there's usually a superhero kind of deal.
Oh, yeah, by the way, there's some construction going on, so we apologize for the noise.
I'll try my best to try and, like, get that audio down. But, yeah, I felt like, you know, in a superhero movie, the first part of it's like beating, like, an entry-level bad guy.
Yeah.
He felt like an entry-level bad guy to me.
Well, I mean, maybe that's exactly what he is. Because, I mean, like, this is the first movie. Maybe there'll be more.
I don't know. Critical response-wise, it doesn't seem... It doesn't bode well.
Yeah, probably not. But, I mean, maybe that's what they were hoping for.
Honestly. I wouldn't mind a sequel.
I don't think I would either. I mean, they had some really, really cool toys. I was just like... and the fight scenes... Some of them were freaking awesome.
Yeah. I quickly wanted, because you mentioned cameos earlier. Yeah. I just quickly want to touch on that. They do respect as much as possible with the, well, they do respect they make lots of callbacks to the original ones. Like some scenery, some like locations. The actors like Bill Murray,
yeah, they all made an appearance.
Yeah, but they weren't, and that's what semi-irked me. But then you just need to know beforehand that it's not the same universe.
Yeah.
That they're not
their characters in the old movies. They are completely different characters, but it's still fun to see them, like, in that universe. It's like, see, they're at home there. It's where they need to be.
So, yeah, overall, I think, like, it's let me put it to you this way. My favorite part in that movie was the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Because it was like, that's what I always imagined the Ghostbusters would have done if they had fight
CG
scenes.
was better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the fight scenes were really cool. Like the way all of them use their different weapons and everything.
Yes.
And it's very like boyish of me to say like the fight scenes were my favorite part. But the comedy was a lot. Chris Hemsworth comedy was like the main feature in my book, comedy wise. There were some moments that was a bit like awkward. Like there's one
scene.
Yeah, there's one scene where they go into like a rock and metal festival, and there's a concert.
Yeah.
And lots of those parts, I'm not gonna touch too much on it, but that part felt very cringy to me at some stages.
Yeah.
Like very teen movie, not or DVD movie kind of esque jokes in it. But yeah, overall, yeah. Oh, sorry. What's your overall thoughts on it?
Oh, I just wanted to say, can we touch on the fact that supposedly the US government does know about the existence of ghosts. They have people that are supposedly dealing with this. And they rock up with an entire SWAT team and not one of their weapons can deal with ghosts. Like,
yeah.
What? So, I mean, the entire US government knows about this problem, but they don't have the weaponry for it. And now you have these, like, 4 rogue scientists or just ladies, and they come up with, like, the equipment to deal with this situation. And then you turn them away and you tell them to, like, not help.
No, they can help.
No,
but
they can help, like, secretly.
And they're going to be seen as assholes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that was just a little bit weird to me. And I know it's probably just for the storyline and to get things going.
Yeah, but I mean, that felt really dumb to me.
Also, so the villain can make that entire little group of people stop and dance, but he can't just, I don't know, I would have, like, with his powers, I would have made the 4 women just, like, sit there or, like, frozen them and, like, I don't know, rip their hearts out or something.
The dance scene part was really stupid to me.
I liked it. It was funny because it was a typical thing that would have happened in what, the 90s movies.
Yeah. But, like, it was like it just made more plot holes.
Yeah, well, it kind of reminded me of the Mask, because they also had that little dance scene. Yeah, so I mean, I liked that, but at the same time, it's like
story-wise, it felt pointless.
Yes, it's like, okay, so you're making them dance, but you can't deal with 4 ladies with, like,
beams.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the end, would you recommend someone buying or watching it?
I mean, I don't know. It's fun if you're like watching it with someone. It has a few little scenes where you can, like, really giggle. But I mean, I wouldn't say if you're a diehard fan of the Ghostbusters, like, maybe not. No. Like, I wouldn't watch it again just because, I mean, if I had nothing better to do or if someone else wanted to watch it, I'd watch it with them, but
it was an average movie to me.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't do anything special. It didn't like make me, like, super excited or anything. And I took this movie with a grain of salt because I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan, but I never felt offended that this movie was made.
Oh, no.
Because let's be honest, if you're a Ghostbusters fan and you've been a fan of it since the first movies, and I'm a bit younger than the first movie.
Yeah.
But, like, I watched enough, like, really weird, like, reboots of it, like, TV show wise, like, animated series. Like, there was lots of, like, different takes on it. Like, Extreme Ghostbusters, I loved it, but it was weird. It was really weird. But, so, like, the thing that you just need to realize is if you watch that movie and you're offended by it, and you're a Ghostbusters fan, just turn to whatever Ghostbusters, like, memorabilia or DVD or Blu-ray or whatever you have of it. Just look at it and realize, oh, it didn't disappear while I was watching this movie.
Yeah.
If you dislike this movie, just pop in the old ones and then it's fine.
Yeah, enjoy the old ones. I have to say, though, as movie franchises go, I have to rate this Ghostbusters higher than I would rate Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull thing.
I haven't watched that yet.
That was terrible.
Oh.
That I actually think that did ruin the entire franchise for me. I have to go watch the old ones now just to make myself feel better.
Just to cleanse your palate.
Yes, just to cleanse everything. I mean, it's same thing. They had the old characters like coming in, put a new twist on it, but still, I was like, really, really, and I want to say an important word, but it's gonna spoil everything. If
I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, we'll leave it for a podcast
Anyway.
because I still need to watch that one.
Yeah, well,
Because I just heard bad stuff, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna watch it because I wasn't really a big fan of Indiana Jones, but I enjoyed the movies when I was younger.
No, I loved Indiana Jones. It was like my favorite. Anyway.
That's for the hat.
Yeah, that's for the hat.
But yeah, overall, I'd say the same as Nadi. Like, watch it if you have it in the vicinity and someone else wants to watch it, watch it.
Pop it in.
Pop it in. But I wouldn't recommend
fun.
going like, yeah, no, go get that DVD or get that Blu-ray because it's gonna be in bargain bins. I can guarantee this to you now.
Probably. I mean, unless you go in and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until the end, the last 20 minutes, and just like watch all the really cool fight scenes.
Yeah. And just by the way, for Ghostbusters fans who are still butthurt about this movie, just remember that because this movie came out, there's been a resurgence in Ghostbusters merchandise, even of the old ones. Just be happy for that. Like, swings and roundabouts, you know?
Silver linings, silver linings.
You know? Silver ghost linings. So yeah, that's the end of our thoughts on Ghostbusters, and that pretty much wraps everything up for the podcast. Now all we need to do is reach our hands into the hat. And Nadi will be picking this one for next week.
Like we said, we're only choosing one to keep it short. I don't think that really worked, but it didn't keep it that short. But anyway, we're trying.
Next week's theme is... God damn it.
Holy shit. Okay.
Thanks, we're going to have to edit that.
Okay. Anyway, okay. We're gonna... Okay, so, again, we're trying to involve new things in this podcast. And one of the things I said we should put in the hat is LARPing in South Africa. And, you know, just because neither of us are really part of that kind of community, we're sort of interested, like, we have a few questions, and I said we should put it in the hat, just for interest's sake, just to get out of our comfort zones, and I put that in today, and obviously that is the thing I chose. However, I did say that if I did choose this, then, we'd give ourselves a month just to, like,
organize it.
Yeah, organize
because
it.
Because it's not something you can just go in and do
in a week
randomly, especially in South Africa.
Yeah. So we're giving ourselves a little bit of time, some space to learn more about this and kind of get the podcast figured out.
So we promise a special.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be an hour. But anyway, so Jan-Hen is now gonna choose next week's subjects. Don't choose poorly like I did.
I did it. Okay. So, let's see. Next week's theme is not LARPing. It is, drumroll, please, Wolf Children.
Oh, man! Highly disturbing movie, but brilliant. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to watch it again because I haven't watched it in years.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay! Okay, and then you said you had a challenge for people this week.
I do, but first, I would like you to recommend...
Oh dear.
Something for our viewers, our listeners to watch.
Something to watch.
Oh, listen to or experience or whatever.
Oh my gosh, you're asking the wrong person. I haven't been doing anything lately.
What about some old favorites?
Old favorites. Okay. If you're into, like, kind of sort of creepy movies, a good one to watch is Pan's Labyrinth. It's in Spanish, but it's one of my favorite movies. A little bit gory, so if you don't like blood, not a good idea. But if you sort of into the... What is it, a thriller?
Yeah, it's a fantasy.
A fantasy thriller kind of thing.
It's made by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Really, really good director. Not so much his Hollywood stuff, but this is a little bit before that. Definitely worth watching.
So my challenge is vices.
Oh dear.
This is something that doesn't need to be something now, but I want you guys to try it. If you guys have a vice, it can either be something like smoking or drinking or, whatever.
I'm gonna say chocolate because this just sounds like it's
Yeah.
leading up to something like Lent.
No, even if it's something like chocolate or sweets or whatever, something that you feel is like a vice, something that like you get irritated when you haven't had it, even if it's, dare I say, coffee, try and lessen it. I'm not gonna say, hey, quit smoking, because I'm not your fucking mother,
Yeah.
Try and if you quit because of it, more power to you. I'm trying to quit one of my vices throughout the year. I'm going to see how it goes. And you know what? I'm not going to kick myself if I don't manage to completely quit it, but I'd like to. That's kind of a goal I'm setting for myself.
Yeah, kind of work on mental power, mental
Yeah.
strength.
Yeah, that's the challenge I'm giving. Just
Improve yourself as a person.
yeah, and I think that's kind of like the theme that we want to go for this year as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the
Absolutely.
reason why we started the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, get out of your comfort zone a little bit, do something different, experience new things, even if it's uncomfortable.
And with that, guys, we will see you in the next episode. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it. We really appreciate the likes, and we really, really appreciate the subscription. And yeah, love you guys.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.